Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Usually, I'm the weekend sports anchor, but this Tuesday's episode is a special one. Um, I am your weekend sports anchor, Miguel Mike Medina. And before I get things started, I just want to say happy birthday to my sister, Melissa Medina Gallardo. Yes, she's married. Sorry, fellas, but yeah, she's married. um, I'm not gonna mention her age, but today's her birthday, and she is an extraordinary woman. She is a leader. She is very fierce, but she has a heart of gold. And the way I think nowadays is that birthdays are every single day to me. Because today is the day that she was born. I just want to say happy birthday to her. I already told her that, but here on Sports News Flash at 12, I wanted to start this episode by giving her a birthday shout out. She and we've had a lot of trials and tribulations over petty stuff, but at the same time, we've had great memories. When we were teenagers, we were always together. Whether it was go to parties or whether go to parks, whether it was to go shopping, whatever the case may be, me and her, we always relied each other on that aspect. And now that we're adults now, and she has a family of her own. Me, I'm doing my thing. She's doing her thing. In terms of career aspects, but man, to watch her grow and see the woman that she's become today, it's been nothing short but spectacular. So happy birthday, sis. Love you. Keep being that strong leader, smart, intellect person that you are. So yeah, I just yeah, it's a special day. It's a special day because my sister's birthday. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Starting with college football, man, week 4 was sensational. And the first one I got to talk about is Ohio State versus Notre Dame, the biggest game of week 4. Two top 10 teams colliding in the month of September. Number 6 seed, Ohio State, number 9th seed, Notre Dame, and this was played at South Bend. This was a great chance for Notre Dame to win, but Ohio State came into this game with a chip on their shoulder because of all the naysayers that were criticizing Ohio State. Kyle McCord not getting the respect that he deserves. I understand that CJ Stroud was the guy there. And early on, from week 1 against Indiana, people had doubts about Kyle McCord. But Ohio State has a lot of weapons, offensively and defensively. So I knew that he was going to be fine. It's just a matter of, you got to be patient with him. Once he builds that chemistry and he gets more comfortable, you'll start to like Kyle McCord. And after this game, he earned the respect from a lot of people. This game, in my eyes, was close to perfection. Low scoring game. Both teams played exceptional defense. Notre Dame did a great job defending Ohio State's running game. But as head coach Marcus Freeman, former Buckeye, by the way, said that what was frustrating is that they couldn't put enough pressure on the quarterback. And that was one of the questions I had coming into this game. Can Notre Dame's defensive line can get to Kyle McCord. And they couldn't. I mean, Ohio State does have a strong offensive lineman, so they did a great job to protect their quarterback. Notre Dame came close to winning this game, but Kyle McCord, he stepped up as a leader. He stepped up as the quarterback, and he led Ohio State. On that final drive, it took all the way to the last second for Ohio State to win that game. Ohio State won this game 17-14. It was a thrilling finish. And this game, like I said, was close to perfection, in my opinion. I love the energy and intensity and the belief that Ohio State's head coach has on his team. He was extremely hyped after the victory. This game was personal to him. This game was personal to Ohio State. I do believe that nobody wanted to win this game more than Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame's standpoint, but Ohio State, they came on this game with a chip on their shoulder. I like both teams, and I hope to see both teams in the college football playoffs. North Carolina versus Pittsburgh. This was an ACC matchup. After playing 2 games at home, North Carolina traveled to the road to face Pittsburgh. And one of the takeaways of this game was Drake Maye. He is looking like an early Heisman Trophy candidate. This young man completed 22 of his 30 passes. And he had 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 1 passing touchdown. The one that he passed was one of the top plays of this weekend's college football. It reminded me of Patrick Mahomes out there. He was running towards his left, and when the defender came close to him, almost about to sack him, he threw the ball with his left hand to I had it written down, I forgot. But yeah, he threw it to his receiver who was wide open for the touchdown. That was just a brilliant heads-up play by Drake Maye. Pittsburgh, the similarity that Pittsburgh and Minnesota have against playing North Carolina is that both teams had chances in the second half. Both teams had chances of making the game interesting. What happened? They missed out on opportunities, and turnovers killed them, especially Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had 3 turnovers in the second half, 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. If you took away those turnovers, we probably would have had a different conversation by now. Pittsburgh, they played well in the first quarter. We saw the first quarter, they played well, but then momentum shifted in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, they had chances, missed opportunities, the same thing in the fourth quarter. But North Carolina, you got to give them a lot of credit. Drake Maye stepped up. You had other guys in North Carolina, Tar Heels, that stepped up. That punt return in North Carolina for the touchdown was great. They won this game 41-24. The team improves to 4-0 for the first time since 1987. Usually the North Carolina Tar Heels, they're known for their success in basketball, but the football team is coming on its own, and it's phenomenal to see that. It's phenomenal. So congratulations to the North Carolina Tar Heels. Oof. One of my favorite games this weekend, Florida State versus Clemson. Florida State won this game 31-24 in overtime, and they never led in this game. The only time they led is when they won in overtime. And I don't want to hear that Florida State got lucky. No, they battled. It wasn't a good performance by them, but they battled. They never gave up. Clemson had this game. They had every chance, but you got to give the Seminoles a lot of credit. Clemson had more first downs, more passing yards, more rushing yards than Florida State. And Florida State had more penalties than Clemson. Florida State is now 4-0. Miami Hurricanes, the U, are 4-0. They're going to play against one another on October 7th. Miami, who dismantled Temple, no disrespect to Temple, but they dismantled them this past weekend. And they have a bye week, but October 7th, oof, that old rivalry of Florida State, Miami, I can't wait. And both teams are doing good so far. And I want them. I know Miami will be undefeated by the time they'll face Florida State. I'm not sure if Florida State has the bye week, same as Miami. But if they don't have a bye week, then I want Florida State to win because I want to see both teams face one another with an undefeated record. So I'll be tuning in for that. College football, man. You just got to love college football. Any given Saturday, any team can be beaten. Now, let's go to NFL Sunday. The Green Bay Packers took on the New Orleans Saints. And I got to say this, so far, I like what Jordan Love is bringing to the table for this Green Bay team. That fourth quarter was all Green Bay. Green Bay came back. They rallied to beat the New Orleans Saints. They outscored New Orleans Saints 18-0 in the fourth quarter. That's crazy. So Green Bay improves to 2-1. But you want to know what's more crazy? This other game. Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins put up 70 points against that Denver Broncos defense. Miami won this game 70-20. Tua, he is shutting a lot of people up. He is one of those young quarterbacks that is constantly disrespected, doubted, hated, you name it, but he's being disrespected. And this man threw 4 touchdowns for 309 yards and completed 23 of his 26 passes. Tyreek Hill, we know Tyreek Hill and how great he is. He had an outstanding performance against Denver. I don't have to go into detail, but Tua, these are numbers that makes the haters and naysayers quiet. I am happy for Tua. I'm happy. I'm happy for Tua. I'm happy for Miami. And wow, 70 points. When I think about 70 points, I'm not even going to go back to the flashback of the past, but this is impressive performance by Miami. And Denver, they should be ashamed of themselves. If I'm the head coach, I will make them do 1,000 suicides as punishment. Yes, last but not least, the Titans versus Cleveland Browns. As I wrote this article on the Cleveland Sports Talk, shout out to Cleveland Sports Talk. Cleveland Browns, they got it done on both ends of the field. Redemption for Deshaun Watson after that abysmal performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tenacity describes the Cleveland Browns defense. if Cleveland performs like this consistently on a weekly basis, they're going to be very tough to beat. Deshaun Watson had arguably the best game in a Cleveland Brown uniform, and the Browns defense was tenacious. They made Ryan Tannehill's life a living hell on the field. He got sacked 5 times. God knows how many times they pressured him. And a defense that was led by Myles Garrett, they were sensational. Cleveland won this game 27-3. They just absolutely dominated Tennessee in this game. All over the place, they dominated them. Let's go into baseball. The Minnesota Twins, they wrapped up their 3rd American League Central Division title in 5 years. Mind you, the AL Central this season was a weak division, but I still give Minnesota a lot of credit. Pablo Lopez and Sonny Gray have been a formidable 1-2 punch in the rotation. Joe Ryan, even though he didn't have a great season, but I still believe in him. The Twins just need to stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, they can do something special. I like Rocco Baldelli as their manager. Carlos Correa, he has been a great addition to the team. He's perfect for this Minnesota Twins team. I like their chemistry. There's a lot of harmony in that team. They have an elite defense in the outfield. They have a good solid closer in front of them. The Twins haven't won a playoff series since 2002. And they don't have to worry about the Yankees this year. Why? Because the Yankees have been eliminated from playoff contention. I'm a Yankee fan, as you guys know it, but the Yankees were abysmal this season. So, and besides, if there's a team in the American League that could give people surprises, it should be the Minnesota Twins. Like I said, they just had to show up in October and they had to stay healthy. And I feel that when you have a guy like Carlos Correa on your team, who is a champion, who has a lot of playoff experience, he can feed all of that to his teammates. So I'll be paying very close attention on the Minnesota Twins in October, but they have to win a playoff series. They have to. I feel that is imperial for them to win a playoff series this year. And again, you don't have to deal with the Yankees because the Yankees beat them in 2003, 2004, 2009, 2010, 2017, and 2019. Which, by the way, I went to my first Yankee playoff game in 2019, which was game 1 of the American League Division Series. And I haven't been to a stadium since then, for many reasons. So congratulations once again to the Minnesota Twins on wrapping up the AL Central. And best of luck to them in October. Hockey. Steven Stamkos is the latest news trending in the hockey world. Steven Stamkos, Tampa Bay Lightning captain, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He is frustrated with negotiation with Tampa. He hasn't gotten an extension yet. And it's an interesting situation because Steven Stamkos, I mean, he still has a lot left in the tank. Tampa is a team that is in it to win it now. Yes, they are getting older. They did lose some key pieces. Steven Stamkos is one of the oldest players in the team. He's 33 years old. But I see Steven Stamkos as a guy that is a Tampa Bay Lightning for life. I want him to retire as a Tampa Bay Lightning. I want to see his jersey get retired in Tampa. Yes, I'm still salty from 2015 because Tampa beat my Rangers. And even in 2022. But Steven Stamkos is a tremendous leader, tremendous player. When he's healthy, he is special. And that's another thing that probably concerns the front office is his durability. And they see that he's getting up there in age, but the man, you know, he still put up a lot of points last year. And I feel that he's going to do it again this year. I feel that Steven Stamkos, you got to extend him for about 3 to possible 5-year contract. There's no way that he's going to get an 8-year extension, but give him at least 3 to 5. 5 the maximum I'll go with, but not 8. But 5 could be the most that I'll give Steven Stamkos if I'm the general manager. And but let's see, this is an interesting situation. I just don't see Steven Stamkos playing anywhere else but Tampa. He is Mr. Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, Tampa, during the Stamkos era, they've been competing at an elite level for the last 7, 8 years. So you got to keep him. You got to keep him. You got to extend him. So we will see how things will play out as things goes on. Now, to wrap it up, it's time for Miguel's top performances of this weekend. And here are my picks for Miguel's top performances. That does it for this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, anything that you want to comment about this episode, or anything that you feel that I could improve on this show, email me at sportsnewsflash12@gmail.com. I don't know if I said it right, but yeah, I'm going to have that towards the end of the video so you can email me if you have any questions or concerns or any suggestions for me. Have a great week, guys. Be safe. May God bless you all. Keep enjoying sports, and I'll see you guys Sunday.